Estonian Soldier from Alabama coming right up. Hey son, you don't have the Estonian Soldier hat yet? Well, go and get it, boy. I have a lot of guns and I have a lot of freedom. And now I have the Estonian Soldier hat. The deadliest fighter jet in the US military. It is not the F-35, I'm here to tell you. It is the F-22 Raptor. Yes, we have made a video about this already, but we're gonna make another one because it's so damn deadly. It can kill anything. Anything that moves or anything that doesn't move. It doesn't matter if you move or not, it can kill you. Today I'm drinking this urine looking thing out of a jar, which is actually homemade lemonade with some other things, but it's not piss. Believe me, it tastes really good. Is good. Let us thank the Patreons. We have Larry Triplet Jr., where Larry Triplet Sr. was already a patron, so now we have father and son and junior. Thank you, Larry. We have Adrienne Estukpurliuk, a very difficult name for me to say. Thank you. And finally, we have something real Mexican, Jose Garcia. Thank you, Jose. If you want to support the channel, head on to the Patreon and pick your tier. Pick the amount. Every amount helps, and you'll be really helping me out to make these videos. Thank you, or gracias, Jose. If I was the pilot of the deadliest fighter jet in America, the F-22 Raptor, I'd be wearing myself one of those Estonian Soldier hats. It's damn bulletproof, man.
The United States Air Force has some of the most technologically advanced weapons in the world. But when it comes to fighter jets and taking control of the skies, the US Air Force has something that no other military can match. The Lockheed Martin F-22 Raptor defines air dominance with its unique combination of stealth, speed, agility, situational awareness, and its lethal long-range air-to-air and air-to-ground weaponry.
Air-to-air and air-to-ground, here we have it. I've told that F-35 is multi-role fighter. It can fight air-to-air, air-to-land, anything, but F-22 can also. F-22 is said to be better by almost every pilot that I've spoken to. This is such an old topic. We have talked about it so much. I have talked about it so damn much. But still, we get new cool videos. So I want to go over it again and again and again. And you guys going crazy in the comments, I think.
This single-seat, twin-engine, all-weather stealth tactical fighter is considered a fifth-generation fighter aircraft and was the very first in the world. In 1985, the US Air Force began to focus on both its stealth and supercruise abilities, and by 1986, Lockheed and Northrop had been selected to enter a competition to build the new jet which would replace the F-15 fighter jets. Lockheed's team completed their provisional YF-22 model in 1990, and Northrop's team completed their provisional YF-23 model in 1991. After an extensive testing period, the Lockheed YF-22 was deemed to be the winner because it was both stealthier and faster.
Stealthier and faster, and they won a huge contract. They won a contract of the most deadliest plane in the world. Imagine you losing this contract. Northrop, I mean, they lost out on their lives opportunity. If USA, if you're listening to me now, like the president of whatever, Trump, Mr. Trump, you're listening, if you are switching F-22s out, if you're retiring those planes in like 15 years, don't send them to the junkyard in Nevada, the plane graveyard. Just send them to Estonia. I'm telling you, we could use them because we don't have a proper air force and we need to protect ourselves from Russian fighters, so F-22 would be the best one. Send them to us, please. No charge, we don't have the money.
Then the YF-23. The first production F-22 was unveiled April 9, 1997 at a rollout ceremony by Lockheed Martin, Boeing and Pratt & Whitney, and by September 7th of the same year, the F-22 made its first flight. In 2005, it formally entered service as the F-22A after more than 3,500 test flights over 8 years and achieved full operational capability in December.
It is crazy how long ships and planes last in the military. In the civilian world, you come out with a new iPhone, 1 or 2 years, and then you get another one and another one. This plane will last about 30 to 40 years, and all of that time it's the top-edge technology, because developing a new one is so expensive and so difficult that a few countries can allow it to themselves. It takes so much time that if you do come out with a plane, it will stick around for 40 years and still be new. With ships it's even worse, it's like half a century. If an aircraft carrier comes out as new, it will still be probably used 50 years later. Because they're so expensive, so big and bulky and heavy and difficult to make that They have to make them the best they can do, and the best is that they will last for 50 years. Half a damn century. Whew, this plane is not like an iPhone. F-22 will not be outdated for some time, I think.
December of 2007. During an exercise in Alaska in June 2006, 12 F-22s downed 108 adversaries with no losses.
Ooh.
And in exercises amassed 241 kills against just 2 losses in air-to-air combat.
Total dominance, no discussion about it. It's the most deadliest plane in the world. Welcome back to the Estonian Soldier hat competition, my friends. We have some new orders, we're gonna put them on the board. Maybe you will hear your name today, who knows? Boy, you don't have the Estonian Soldier hat, go and get it if you want to be a real person. First of all, we have Joel Ruskamp. Ruskamp, a very Russian or strong. Well, it's from Minnesota. 5 points for Minnesota. We have Lance Killian getting a hat from Montana. We don't have Montana. Let's add it. Yeah, that's right. We're still adding new states. We have one Steve Whipple from Idaho. Steve is not a basic person. He's a very good one because he got 2 hats, not 1. That means 2 points for Idaho. See, we don't even have Idaho, so a good start for Idaho, people. You start with 2. We have Christian Hartke. You have a good heart, Mr. Hartke. Point goes to Ohio. That reminds me, I gotta make a video about the Ohio class submarines. We have one Ben Harris. Ben Harris is a very special man. You know why? Because he didn't get 1, 2, 3 or even 4 hats. He got 5 hats. And 5 hats, they go to Mississippi. Mississippi has 1, so that means they have 6 points. The record right now is 8, so very close, very close to the first place. Way to go, Ben, a true patriot of your state. 6 points. I'm quite sure Mississippi will be the state of the day today. We have one Kip Toknachel, a very German name. He is from somewhere else, but he wrote to me specially saying that his point should go to Wisconsin. I'm not gonna show where he really was from, but Wisconsin gets the point. I read you, Kip. We don't have Wisconsin, so we're gonna put it on the board. Kip, you're doing history for your state, man. That is all for today, but wait a minute, we have the state of the day, which is Mississippi, so we're going to learn the state of the day fact about it. My personal favorite fact I read many facts, but I choose the best one. You know blues, right? The blues, the music. I like blues, I like to listen to it. I just listen to it when I drive somewhere. Well, it is from Mississippi. Thank you, Mississippi, for giving us blues. And now the green line. Hey boy, you don't have the hat? Well, go and get it. If you want to be a real person, go and get the hat. It's bulletproof. Back to the video.
The F-22 measures 62 feet 1 inch in length with a wingspan of 44 feet 6 inches and stands 16 feet high. Empty, it weighs 43,340 pounds, but has a max takeoff weight of 83,500 pounds.
Oh,
the body of the plane
double.
is made up of a significant amount of high-strength materials to withstand stress and heat of sustained supersonic flight. The aircraft consists of 39% titanium 64 and titanium 62222, 24% thermoset composites, and
titanium and anti-flammable materials. These materials are rare. They're strong and rare, and they're not the easiest to make, so making this plane is damn expensive. I haven't seen a video about it, but if you shoot it with a 9mm, will it penetrate? I don't think so. If you shoot it with something heavier, I don't think it... I think it's kind of bulletproof. Not sure about that, but looks like it.
15% aluminium. Of all these, the thermoset composites are perhaps the most unique, being composed of approximately 50% epoxy resin and 50% bismaleimide. This special material is what makes up all the F-22's exterior skin, ensuring high strength and high temperature resistance. To top this off, a number of thermoplastic composites that are highly durable have also been incorporated into the plane's materials. However, due to them being extremely hard to implement, they've only been used on items that are opened frequently or that sustain regular damage from debris, such as landing gear and weapon bay doors. Regarding the wings, the F-22 Raptor was designed with clipped delta wings, with reverse trailing edge sweep and leading edge extensions running to the upper outboard corner of the inlets. Delta wings are notable because the triangular form helps increase aerodynamics and enhances high speed during supersonic flight. The F-22 is powered by two Pratt & Whitney F119 PW100 augmented turbofans that deliver 26,000 pounds of thrust each and 35,000 pounds of thrust with afterburner, for a total of 70,000 pounds of thrust.
What are the afterburners? I remember that they are the airflow that comes into the engine from the front is sent to fuel the fires, and it will burn even more and it will give more propulsion because the airflow is quite strong that comes from the front, and if you switch it on, the air will immediately be fed into the fire and your plane goes supersonic speed. I might be totally in the wrong here, I have no idea, but that's what I remember.
With that amount of power, the aircraft can achieve a maximum speed of Mach 2.25 and can supercruise at Mach 1.82 and has a service ceiling of 65.
Like the Blackbird is over 3, right? 3.3, 3.6, that's Blackbird, and that's supposed to be one of the fastest planes in the world. And this is just a fighter, and it's quite close to that. Damn it, we need them, damn it. Estonian government should start saving up to buy one of those. I mean, we would need to save up 10 years and then we would maybe get half of the plane.
5,000 feet. The Raptor has a thrust-to-weight ratio that is nearly at unity with what would be considered to be the absolute maximum, and its resulting high cruise speed and operating altitude make it extremely capable in surviving against ground defense such as surface-to-air missiles. The secret to its incredible maneuverability is the presence of vectoring nozzles in the F-22's exhaust, as they can redirect thrust more than 20 degrees up or down extremely quickly, allowing the jet to perform maneuvers that no other fighter jet can hold a candle to.
And that's what you need in a dogfight. You need to be able to perform these maneuvers like 180, really fast, come around and attack the enemy at its tail. If an enemy is targeting you, he's behind you need to be able to be so fast and turn around that he doesn't know what happened. And he's playing, let's say, Russian or Chinese fighters. They're not that agile, not that maneuverable. They will lose the edge and the F-22 comes around behind them and just boom, takes them down. You need this maneuverability in a dogfight more than anything else.
Interestingly enough, it's also largely thanks to these thrusters that the F-22 has a typical combat speed of Mach 1.5 at 50,000 feet, with a maximum speed of Mach 1.8 without using external stores, and Mach 2.25 when external stores and afterburners are utilized. To top this all off, the F-22 has an impressive ferry range of 1,800 miles, meaning that it can get from London to Moscow by air with
London to Moscow by air, no problem. One fuel tank. Well, Estonia is 3/4 of the way, so you guys can get from London to Estonia and even fight a little bit in the air and then only refuel. And even you can refuel in the air anyway. So America sends some F-22s to London so they can protect Estonia. Don't go to Moscow, it's not a good place for an F-22.
Distance to spare with its two external fuel tanks. The speed and range are complemented by an extremely advanced avionics system. The plane collects both sensor fusion and radar data from mechanisms located around the plane, with the most notable being a passive radar detector with more than 30 antennas blended into the wings and fuselage for all-round radar warning receiver coverage.
My god. This plane is a better radar than the whole damn aircraft carrier in the Battle of Midway. You see, their radars were basically the planes that they sent out to do the scouting. This one plane is a stronger radar than the whole carrier fleet. You know, because in the Battle of Midway, the fatal mistake was if you sent your scouts out this way and the enemies was in the back and you didn't think the enemy's there and didn't send planes there and then you didn't find it. But F-22 will not make that mistakes because it has 360 degrees radar. It will find you wherever you are.
Radar has a range of over 250 nautical miles, allowing the plane to detect far-off threats and initiate several defense mechanisms. It can then use the data collected to designate targets for allies and coordinate friendly aircraft. The plane also has low observable active aperture electronically scanned array that can track multiple targets under any weather conditions and can
MiGs don't have a chance. I mean, really, they don't. MiGs stand down.
emit frequencies at more than 1,000 times per second in order to avoid detection from enemies. When combined with added features such as the F-22's automatic ground collision avoidance system, it's clear that the fighter jet's avionics truly are elite. An analysis of the cockpit reveals some top-of-the-line technology as well. The very first cockpit made completely out of glass, the monochrome head-up display offers a wide field of view that's displayed upon 6-color LCD panels. The jet is mainly controlled by a force-sensitive side-stick controller and a pair of throttles. With radio functionality, communications, navigation, and autopilot data all being incorporated into one streamlined module. Best of all, the pilot is fully protected in case the situation within the jet becomes dire, as they are required to wear a suit that protects against chemical and biological hazards, cold water immersion, counter G-forces, and low pressure at high altitudes. When you then further consider that the
You truly feel like a juggernaut in that plane. It protects you.
F-22 even comes with an ejection seat, it's clear that it really was made with every possible emergency situation in mind. Last but certainly not least are the F-22 Raptor's armaments. Sporting 3 main weapon bays, the jet has a number of different types of armaments on board. One of the most impressive is its single 20mm M6182 Vulcan rotary cannon. This 6-barreled, air-cooled Gatling...
Yeah, 20mm. I love it. Stick it to every damn plane that US has. That's my point to the president. Stick the 20mm to everything that moves. But the video showed us a person. I mean, this is automatic, right? Automated. It is unmanned gun, right? I don't think a person shoots it. Stick it everywhere. I love the 20mm or the 30mm, but the 30 is too heavy, I guess, for a fighter jet. Put the 20 everywhere. It will make everything better.
Style cannon can fire 20mm rounds at an insanely high rate of about 6,000 rounds per minute.
Oh.
This firepower is supported by several onboard missiles, which are split up into 2 different loadouts depending on the mission.
You need 3 guys to carry 1 missile, and it has 2 of those. Whoo, baby, badass.
The first is the air-to-air mission loadout, which has 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM medium-range missiles and 2 AIM-9 Sidewinder short-range missiles. The AIM-120 AMRAAM is capable of all-weather day and night operations and is designed to employ active transmit-receive radar guidance instead of semi-active receive-only radar guidance. This is of benefit because it allows the missile to be a fire-and-forget weapon, meaning that once it's deployed, it does not have to actively be monitored by the pilot. On the other hand, AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles, which were first introduced to the US Air Force in 1964, are one of the most widely used air-to-air missiles across both NATO countries and Russia. As a result, while not as high-tech as the AIM-120s, they're still extremely capable weapons. However, while this air-to-air loadout works well against other jets and bombers, the F-22 has an air-to-ground mission loadout when performing a land-based mission. In this setup, it instead sports 2 rather than 6 AIM-120 AMRAAM medium-range missiles, 2 AIM-9 Sidewinder short-range missiles, and either 2 1,000-pound JDAM bombs or 8 250-pound GBU-39 small-diameter bombs. Both of these bomb variations have different uses, with the JDAM bombs being extremely large yet pretty accurate due to both their integrated inertial guidance system and their GPS.
It's crazy, this is just a heavy loadout, heavy bomb, but if it falls, it can actually guide itself a little bit, you know. It is a smart bomb, it's not a dumb bomb.
While the GBU-39 bombs are smaller, but even more accurate, as they use not just an inertial guidance system and GPS, but also radar, infrared homing, and semi-active laser guidance to accurately hit their targets consistently. Yet it's the F-22's hardpoints that truly distinguish it as a world-class fighter. In the case of the F-22, these hardpoints are 4 external underwing pylon stations that can be fitted to carry 600-gallon drop tanks or weapons, with each pylon station...
A fighter carrying drop tanks or drop crates. I can't imagine doing that. The fighter is so fast, and I think the crates would break in mid-air, just the air coming their way, and they're gonna flop and everything. It's just gonna break. I just never seen it in my life. Always thought the crates and everything, ammunition is carried by transporter planes, you know, cargo planes. But this is a fighter. I want to see that in real life.
Station having a capacity of 5,000 pounds. These are extremely useful because they allow the F-22 to support ground operations, as it can airdrop supplies and materials to an army fighting below.
Yeah, but we have seen so many. The air-to-air, air-to-ground, carrying cargo, Gatling gun. It's a multi-role fighter. Not only the F-35, but the F-22, way before F-35. It's a multi-role fighter. You can't use that argument for the F-35. Oh, it's a multi-role. It's, you know, it does many things at once. But the F-22 also. Look how many things it can do. It can even support ground missions by just carrying cargo. I'm impressed.
In short, it is these capabilities that make this 5th generation fighter one of the world's premier stealth jets. But despite all that performance, these aircraft are anything but cost effective. After all, considering that it has a $150 million production cost per unit, an insanely high $334 million lifetime preservation cost per unit, and costs at least $65,000 in fuel and maintenance for every hour flown, these fighter jets are...
Every hour flown is $65,000. I think that's how much the entire Estonian army consumes in a day. 1 hour of flying for one plane. US doesn't have really many of them. I remember a video, it's like below 1,000 surely, like below 500 even, I think. They were not exported, so they were not mass produced. It's only like a small patch of a few hundred planes, I think.
Certainly aren't cheap, with the total program cost being upwards of $67.3 billion as of 2010. Many believe that it would have made sense to sell some of these aircraft to other countries to offset some of the program's cost. However, in July of 1997, while Congress was working through the 1998 Department of Defense Appropriations Act, it was agreed that, quote, none of the funds made available in this act may be used to approve or license the sale of F-22 Advanced Tactical Fighter to any foreign government. As a result, despite the F-22 Raptor attracting heavy interest from Australia, Japan and Israel.
Countries are crazy about that plane. Everybody wants it. It's the best plane in the world, but the US doesn't sell. It made the F-35 for export, for selling, and they have already produced like 700 of those. And it has almost a similar price tag, but it is not that good, and they're selling that. But even if it's not that good, still countries want it so bad. Norway, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, all of those, Germany, they want F-35s also.
It's been the subject of a strict export ban that the US Congress has consistently upheld over the years. There are also several other aspects of the F-22 that set it apart from the rest. One of the most impressive facts about this aircraft is its radar cross-section, which is so small that its presence on radar would appear to be that of a bumblebee, making it look about 40,000 times smaller than it truly is.
What the hell? Hey, there's a swarm of bumblebees flying by. It's 10 F-22s, my friend. They're gonna take over your country. How is this possible? I guess I understand why don't they sell it. This technology is so secretive, so cutting edge. I don't understand. How are they doing it? A huge plane with powerful engine, producing heat and waves and everything, but you can't see it on a radar. I can't get my mind around it.
Nearly undetectable. Yet this feature is accentuated by the fact that an F-22 fighter is especially deadly. So deadly that it has a ridiculously high kill ratio of 108-0. Even though the F-22 program was cancelled and no more jets are being built, it doesn't mean that the F-22 is done. Upgrades are now being done on the jet, and it's being used as a testbed for more advanced technology. And it could be a test plane for a completely new jet aircraft we've not even seen or heard of yet.
Woo! The 6th generation. I want to see the 7th generation fighter jets. This will be the technology we see in the future sci-fi movies. Planes already have vertical liftoff, and they have had it for years. You know what I think? The 7th generation fighter jets could turn invisible. That's my. I think that can happen. Yeah, call me crazy. What? Like, you will see in 20 years. Invisible planes. Here they come. Send some to Estonia if you make them. Yeah, please. Boy, have you gotten the hat? The Estonian Soldier hat, boy, you need it to be a real person. Go and get it. The link's in the description below. Support this channel on Patreon or become a member of this channel. And as always, my friends, until my next video, stay cool and bye-bye.